Isn't it time for illegal ham in the face? But bro, where's the banjo?
Some sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face, talking all Cleveland sports and of course food on our semi-famous Fat Boy Thursday. Here are your hosts Fatty and Big Bry.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into Illegal Ham to the Face. You'll see me for right now. Bry will be here in a second. He's getting the trivia for tonight's show. First off, I want to thank everybody that has worked so hard here in Northeast Ohio to get power back on to people. Unfortunately, we do not have it here at the Bates household in Cleveland. We've been without power for 2 days. We've had a generator running nonstop. So I just want to say to all the workers out there, everybody that's worked hard to get power back on for people here in Cleveland, especially after those devastating storms on Tuesday, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There are places out there like our fun place that we went to live at Rookies that is giving out free meals for first responders that have been out doing all this stuff for the past 2 days. Also, Parma Tap House is giving away free ice. If anybody needs ice to keep their fridges cool, anything of that nature, please go to them. Go talk to Tiffany and Jason. They'll take care of you there. There's a lot of new stuff going on, so please go check them out. Didn't hear about these storms. They were pretty nasty. We had 3 confirmed tornadoes here in the Cleveland area. We had one from Avon Lake to Rocky River, which is just north of where I live. We had one, I believe, down towards Boston. And then another one towards, was it Richfield area? I can't remember what the third one was at. But storms were definitely windy, nasty. Definitely took down a tree at our house, which obliterated the telephone pole outside. Bry's here. What's going on, Bry? I was telling everybody about the storms up here and just giving a shout out to all the first responders and all the electric companies that are here trying to help get power back on. It's definitely a weird time, man. It was definitely crazy on Tuesday. We had tornado warnings everywhere. We were diving into the basement. We actually felt the tree out front fall. Yes, there was water spouts on Lake Erie. So it was definitely a crazy time up here for a few hours. And then after all the chaos, over 200,000 people without power. We still have a lot of people without power because they're still cleaning up. Bry, you said you went through Avon Lake and said it just looked like carnage out there.
Yeah, Avon Lake, Avon. I was North Olmsted. I heard Parma got hit pretty bad, and then even through down to like Streetsboro, Manaway area too. So it just really affected so many areas in Northeast Ohio. So yeah, unfortunately, hopefully everyone made it through it safe and there wasn't too much damage to your property. But it sounds like it could be a while for some people before they get power, unfortunately.
They're talking like next Wednesday, man. So a week from today. So it's definitely a once this cold front comes through and it knocks the humidity out. Like today was definitely hot and sticky here in Cleveland today. And we had to bust out, like I said, we got our fridge taken care of. We didn't lose really any food except for some of the stuff in the freezer downstairs. So Godin is here. He said his buddy in Cheshire said it'd probably be 1.5 weeks so he gets power back. That's crazy.
What's up, Matt?
Mom's here, says hello, son and Big Bry.
How you doing?
So Bry did want to help you. Godin is going to help us out with some Fat Boy Thursday locations.
Oh, okay.
To check out.
Yeah, he knows. He would know.
He's going to help us out on the backside of that and help us out with some YouTube stuff and some thumbnail stuff. So want to welcome him to our team. Thank him for helping us out through this stuff. Kind of helps bear the load of you and I can talk sports and not have to worry about a lot of stuff and just have fun talking sports, which, buddy, we got a lot to talk about tonight, especially here in Cleveland. So we'll get our show first off started, as we always say at the beginning of the show. We are sponsored by City Dogs Cleveland and Lake Erie APA and Herald. We do have fantasy football coming up. Bry, big man, I sent you the roster breakdown. We'll talk about that next week when I have actually some power in the house. We'll do that. Godin says he's happy to help. So we got that going on. We also want to thank our troops and first responders. And normally do it at the end of the show, but I'm going to do it at the beginning this time because I missed it last week of rushing everything. Fantasy football info will be next week. He is looking for another runner-up again next year. I feel so bad for Chris. See if he can make it, 4 years in a row now?
Go for the Buffalo Bill accomplishment. I already had Craig. Craig hit me up saying, "Hey, when are we doing the fantasy league?" So we'll have to figure out. I can't even remember how many people were in it last year. If we got a couple extra spots to give away,
I think we have.
We can figure that out.
Did
we have 14?
I have the list, so we'll check the list and go through and see who wants back in and see if we have some open spots. But Chris said 14. So one of the wrinkles, I think everybody's going to love in this because it's going to be a different strategy. And Justin said, as long as he can beat me as he did last year, that was your only win, Justin. Might as well soak it in.
I remember he struggled. I can't remember what was the wrinkle last year.
Last year,
two quarterbacks.
We did the super flex last year.
Oh, super flex. Okay, so it was kind of two quarterbacks.
Yeah, so you could do two quarterbacks, two receivers, however you wanted to do it, and then we took out the defense and the kicker, so it was pretty much all offense.
Oh, we did take out defense also.
I thought so.
Okay, we might have. Yeah, I can't remember. It's fine with me.
So this year the defense is coming back, and the kicker is coming back.
I would say, well, unless without giving the rule away, unless the rule does not apply to kicker, I think we leave the kicker out. If you want to bring the kicker back, we can do it. But like you said, it doesn't apply to defense. I think the rule shouldn't apply to kicker either.
Okay, well, we'll negotiate that here.
Sure, we'll talk. We'll figure it out.
All right, Brian. Well, let's start off our show like we always do with our wonderful trivia brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. I do have a new puppy tonight and have some great news from City Dogs Cleveland. Boy, Justin is just taking his shots. Could be like the Browns, no QB. Whew. Man, oh man.
Do I have to drink for that?
No, he didn't say massage.
Yet. Okay, gotcha.
Gotta wait for the massage. All right, Bryce. So let's get into trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs. We do have a beautiful puppy for you tonight. Puppy's name is Jory, Jory. He is the little guy on the left there, the little Boston Terrier mix, it looks like. There is Beth with him right now. He is 5 years old. Let me pull up all this stuff. He is 5 years old. He is, I think, only 34 pounds. So big, small, love them all, Bri.
Medium. Yeah, medium size.
Medium. So, 34 years old. He's currently in a foster home. He's up for anything. He's up, walk, hike, anytime playing the yard. And he's also content to be a out and about or a couch potato with you. Cuddle time arrives, transform into a snuggle companion. He's very friendly with every person he has met, as well as other dogs and even cats. He is a social butterfly who will greet new friends with his mini wiggle butt and snaggletooth grin. He does not mind being crated. He is non-destructive in the home and a decent walker on the leash. Some occasional pulling remains to be easy managed due to his smaller stature. Just be prepared for plenty of breaks for Jory to wriggle around his gleeful on his back and mellow but fun-loving fella and ready to shower you with love. So go see Jory at City Dogs Cleveland right there. Look at that face, Bri. I love those faces, man.
Yeah, I would say if you're thinking about a dog, you better go get him quick because he'll get snatched up in her. Boston Terriers are great dogs. Great dogs. Everyone I've known who's had a Boston Terrier loves them to death. And like you said, like that whole rant was talking to, he's just gets along with everybody, gets along with all different animals, kids, whatever. Just easy to take care of and a lot of love to give. So make the move quickly because he will be snatched up in a hurry.
All right. The other news from City Dogs Cleveland, as I remove this, they will be back at Cleveland Browns Stadium working their booth. They'll also be doing the August 10th and August 17th preseason game. So please stop by stand number 121 right above the dog pound and support them. Go donate to them. Do whatever you can to help them out. 121, and I think there's another one. I think it's 111. They did do SummerSlam, which was awesome for them. They were there for SummerSlam. They did a few other concerts and stuff down there. So please go help them out. And Godin said, he goes, I already fell in love with this dog. He goes, I got a problem now.
Yep, go get him. Come on, Matt. I'm telling you, Matt, he's going to go quick. Grab him up.
All right, Brian, what's the trivia for tonight, brother?
I got a doozy for you. But before I get to trivia, let me give a couple shout-outs because I missed them at the beginning of the show. Just quickly, kind of almost reminder. We do it every time about this year, or every time this year, my family's golf outing for the Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation. Raise some good money for them. This is your yearly reminder that find a charity that's near and dear to your heart and make a donation, make a difference, because every little bit counts for any size charity, big or small. So we got rained out a little bit on Saturday, but we came back around 2:00. We got everybody out there and had a late night, but we got it in. So had a great time. My brother, his family was in town. Loved spending time with them Friday, Saturday, and then him and I actually went to JoJo's here in Medina and watched the Guardians game on Monday night. So extra innings, we were rooting hard, and it just didn't happen for us. Clase got the loss on that, I think, which is BS. They got a sacrifice bunt and then a sacrifice fly, and he took the loss on that. So that was a little disappointing. But all in all, great weekend for me. Tons of family in town. Great to see everybody. Another successful year. So, yes, find a charity, donate money to it, big or small. Charity, big or small donation, doesn't matter. Make a difference.
Who won the golf outing?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Oh, was there bias?
You don't want to know.
Was there bias?
No, actually, it was Mason's first year playing golf, first year golfing this year, and first time playing in the outing. So it was kind of cool to see him win his first year. Yeah,
it was cousin Phillips.
No, Phillips couldn't make it this year. He had a wedding.
Was it the other Phillips? Or was it Doug
no, Doug. It was my Uncle Mark, Adam, Mason, and my cousin-in-law Josh. So they had a good group together. My team finished in second. Ashley played for the first time this year.
Nice.
Got the long drive for the women. So I guess I should shout her out as well.
Flex on them.
Yeah, I hit a great drive on 18, and she got me by about 10 yards. I was so upset. So I guess maybe I shouldn't take her out as much as once a year. Once a year she's allowed to come out. But her cousin came up from Columbus with her husband, and we had a great time playing with them. Tied for second, but we lost a tiebreaker, so I didn't get the trophy again. So 16 years in a row, I've gone home without the hardware. We bogeyed 18, so had we just parred 18, we would have took second. So there's always next year. Keep me coming back. So yeah, sorry for the long-winded shout out, but onward to trivia. I got a doozy for you here.
All right.
I'm looking for, since we're talking quarterbacks, I'm looking for NFL quarterbacks, active quarterbacks, guys that are still playing, with the highest career passer rating. I'm looking for the top three.
Top three.
Top three with the highest career passer rating. Now, I'll give you a hint.
That are still playing now?
Still playing now. Still currently playing. And the hint is, because I'm not sure if they account for it, but there might be a minimum of like 1 or 2 seasons, because there's not like any real young quarterbacks.
Okay.
So guys that have been in the league at least 3 or 4 years enough.
All right. I like it, brother. Hey, can I rebuttal you with a trivia that I heard the other day that was
love it. Absolutely.
Right. Little trivia rebuttal. Brett Favre, in his Hall of Fame career, Who was his first ever pass thrown to?
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
First completed pass. Yeah, that's a fun one.
I love that one. I heard that one.
That's
I'm like,
a really
man,
fun
that's
one.
great. That's great.
Yeah.
So they tipped it. What, defensive line tipped it, and he caught it, and then fell down?
I think so, yeah. He might have got some positive yards. I'm not sure.
That is a great one right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, man, I got to think of 3 quarterbacks. All right. We
Shouldn't
can do
be
that.
too difficult, although there's a curveball in there.
Of course, there's a curveball in there. I think I might know what the curveball is, but we'll find out here in a second. All right, Brian. So let's get into our Cleveland headlines. Chris is here, so let's bump the music, baby. All right, so first up on Cleveland headlines, right now the Guards are in the low slide. They have lost 5 in a row. They've been dinged up, and they're on the road. They're with Minnesota this weekend, so hopefully we can get a little bit of games on them. But it's been pitching and hitting have been kind of suspect of opportune times. It's not that they haven't had chances to win. It's just they just can't come out, get that one bat or the one pitch that they need to do it. I do have news that Matthew Boyd just pitched today, who will be coming up from his Tommy John surgery. He'll be starting pitching here in the starting rotation. And then so is Alex Cobb will be coming up also soon. So that'll be some help there in starting. But, Brian, we still need help with starting pitching because we cannot – we played a doubleheader yesterday, Brian. Both starting pitchers didn't get out of the 4th inning. And – you can't do that. Your bullpen's going to get gas, and this bullpen's
right.
Going to get. And by the way, we're going to say it every week until it happens. Cy Young Clase, Cy Young Clase, Cy Young Clase, Cy Young Clase. All right, so got that out of the road because I'm going to talk it into fruition, Brian. We were the first ones to come up here and say that he should win the Cy Young, even though it's hard for a reliever to do it. But, man, even though he did take that one loss that you were talking about, about going to the Guardians game, man, still pitches great. Great, Brian.
That was a BS loss. I mean, that would infuriate me. Didn't give up a hit or anything like that, just a couple sacrifices, and we ended up losing the game. But I think I'm the problem because I've watched more Guardians. I've watched more Guardians game this last week than I have all season. I watched the game Friday, a lot of it, a little bit on Saturday, and then a lot of it on Monday. So that's my bad. Sorry, I guess I'll stop watching.
Stop watching.
They'll start winning. They'll start winning now. Yep.
All right. So also on the news of the Cleveland Browns, Brian, we got a little teaser yesterday that we're going to start out with right now. Got a little video that got leaked out about the Brookpark Browns Stadium. And man, Brian, I told you when you sent me that link and I started watching that video, that looks absolutely amazing. I love every minute of it. It looks, Brian, it's truly amazing, especially how they did that video and showed you all the venues that could happen in there. They showed you the concerts. They showed you basketball. They showed you everything that could happen inside that stadium and outside that stadium. Had this ski rink up where you could go ice skating rink up, hotels all around, everything else. Brian, after seeing that, Brian, I don't want to revamp downtown. I want that new stadium in Brookpark.
No, it was like a fantasy land. It was a dream. It was like a video game. Just that whole, I don't know what it lasted, maybe 2 minutes or something like that. But just, man, yeah, the Browns cannot go back to downtown after teasing us with that. That's like the coolest place in the state right now. I mean, if they build that the way that they're showing it, that's where everyone's going to want to be. So, yeah, I mean, you can't go back to downtown and just, renovate a 25-year-old stadium after that. So let's hopefully the city just kind of falls by the wayside. And, they tear down Brown Stadium and you build up the lakefront. Now we have cool. there are two cool places in Northeast
Mhm.
Ohio to go to, around the Brown Stadium and then also the lakefront there. So that's a win-win to me. I mean, rather than just renovating the stadium and then we're stuck status quo. So let's hope. I think the Browns put it out there to put some pressure on the city, but let's hope that they don't be like, okay, well, we put the pressure on the city. Now they gave us what they want. Now we're just going to renovate. Because honestly, to me, I think when I think about renovating the stadium and from what I've heard, they're going to renovate like the suites and the club areas and make
Yeah,
them
not
so
the
much cooler. And so it's not really going to affect like the average fan that's going to a game a whole lot. Maybe the concourse will be a little bit nicer. Maybe, they'll offer more food options like the Guardians do, but I don't think it's going to really affect your game day experience a whole lot. Plus you're still going to have to park a mile away to tailgate. There's just things that you cannot change there. So
yeah.
and you can't put a dome on it. So watching that video, I just hope I live 5 more years so I'm able to see it. Because man, I don't want to miss out on that. That literally looks like heaven there.
It looks
I can't wait. It's going to be a long anticipation.
it truly does look amazing. It really does. And like I said, they showed it right because the Cleveland Brown Stadium downtown now, you can only have a handful of stuff there. You got your 8 home games and then maybe a couple concerts during the summer, and that's kind of it. You can't do anything else there. And it just sits there and it's like, okay. And everybody there's one guy on Twitter, and God love him. And I'm not even going to say his name because it is what it is, but it's like, you're taken away from downtown. You do realize people still have to get hotel rooms. They can still get hotel rooms downtown next to the casino. Actually, I think it's going to help downtown because guess what? That lakefront that you said, you can actually turn that into something very nice because they already got the grant for the land bridge to walk over there. You can actually make that a wonderful pier for people, bars, everything else over there on that other side that you wanted to for so long and actually show off the lakefront instead of just having that stadium there with 2 parking lots that never get used on the backside of it. What they say, 20 acres on the backside of that stadium never get used. So it's like, okay, well, what are we doing here?
Well, let's not forget that don't feel too bad for downtown. They still get 80 Guardians games. They still get 40 Cavs games at least.
Yes.
So they'll still get concerts during the summer. Let's not feel too bad for the downtown because they don't get 10 Browns games a year.
Well, it's not like they can't build an amphitheater there on that lakefront right there. That would be perfect.
Sure, sounds awesome. Yeah, I can go to a concert there.
Hell yeah, that'd be great. So I mean, everybody goes to Blossom, right? Why not bring Blossom downtown?
Absolutely, that would be great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm all for it. I'm all in. Give me what they showed me, and I'll have a blast. I'm just jealous. I'm jealous of the kids that are in like high school now. That when they're in their 20s, that's going to be completed, and they can do all their tailgating. Then I'll be an old man, mid 40s. I'm not going to do a whole lot of tailgating at that point. But I'm jealous of the next generation. Hopefully, they have better luck with the Browns.
Yeah, Matt said it right here. Downtown already has so much to offer. I think it'd be amazing for Cleveland to expand and amplify other neighborhoods. And what they're going to, it's going to be a mecca down there. I mean, there's going to be hotels, restaurants, bars, tailgating spots, everything else. And plus, right, it makes the most sense because they just bought all that land in Berea too, which is not too far away from where the stadium's going to be built. So they have everything right there. They have their own little Cleveland Browns city right there between Berea and Brookpark that is only 10 minutes away from each other. That's going to be perfect. And plus, like you and I said, coming out of Brown Stadium, you got like a 1.5 mile walk to at least come close to your car out of the stadium. And then trying to get out of downtown after that is just nuts. With this, you got 71 right there. You got the transit that they're going to redo transit they're going to do there in Brook Park. You got 480 that's right there. You got all the other roads around it. It's a different infrastructure for you to get out of that place than it is, going downtown.
And a dome likely means turf grass, AstroTurf, or whatever they're calling it now. I was talking to a guy the other day. He was telling me that to resod the Browns Stadium cost them like $700,000, which is just absurd. And they bake it into the cost of like I think they're going to have Billy Joel, Rod Stewart, and a couple of couple weeks, and they're going to have to resod it. They resod it after every major event, so it's $700. Just what a wait! I mean, great for the sod farms in the area. I don't know if Medina Sod has that much.
Medina Sod Farm.
I don't think they got that much to send to Cleveland, but
I don't know,
it's just
buddy.
wild.
We've used a lot of Medina Sod in our days.
Kept them in business, that's for sure. Maybe we should open up a sod farm if that's what you get for it. For one football field, $700,000.
Oh, we could do that all day. All right. So the other news, we'll get off the stadium talk. The other news that came out, Brian, what do you think about Brandon Ayuk coming to Cleveland? Now, we did have reports today saying that the Browns are kind of out of it because he wants to go to Pittsburgh and play for Mike Tomlin and be a Pittsburgh Steeler. The Pats are out of it. The Commanders might be back in it because he might want to play with Jaden Daniels. It's a crazy thing going on right now. But from what I've heard and from what everybody's been saying, the Browns have gave them the best offer for Brandon Ayuk. And they said it's in Brandon Ayuk's corner. When did Brandon Ayuk get all this power that he gets to choose where he wants to go? Like, does Shanahan just sit there and go, yeah, no, you're going to go here? Like, what's going on with this and why? I understand he is a top talent. He's 26 years old. He is a very good number one wide receiver. I'm not saying he's not. But the package they're talking about us giving up is Cooper, Conklin, maybe Teller to get Brandon Ayuk here. I mean, Brian, how do you feel about it?
No way. No, that sounds crazy. I think maybe one of those guys.
Well, no, it's been like a package deal. It's either going to be Cooper and Conklin and maybe a pick, or Teller and a pick, or Cooper and this person and a pick. But Cooper's name keeps coming up in this. And and I don't want to do Cooper this disservice because he's been great here in Cleveland. Since he's came here, we're on a 5th-round pick. We got him picked up. We extended his contract, restructured it, everything else. Now, granted, I don't think Cooper is going to stick around after this year. But at that point in time, it's still, I don't want to do the disservice of trading him, adding more to the salary cap because it's adding a quote unquote another weapon for somebody that's already got a crap ton of weapons right now. So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of weird about this whole thing that's going on. How do you feel about the whole trade rumors and all that with him?
I was never 100% on board. I mean, he's a talented wide receiver, and I would like to have him, but there's just so much that comes with it. Because to me, he's closer to the 20th best receiver than a top 5 receiver, and you would have to pay him like he's a top 5 receiver. So, I think him and Amari Cooper are kind of comparable. I think. Amari is obviously 4 years older, but you would have to pay Ayuk $30 million, maybe $35 million a year for 4 years. That's just a huge hole in your salary cap, and I'm not willing to give that up for this guy at this point because, like I said, I don't think he's a surefire top 10 receiver. And even if he was, that's a steep price to pay. But he had one really good year. This past year was his one really good year. Other than that, he's kind of been pretty good. But he's kind of been a bit of a disappointment. I always thought he was overhyped a little bit. And in the back of my mind, I keep seeing the Odell Beckham deal. And we deal for this receiver. We promise him the moon and the stars. And other than Cooper, nobody's really produced at the wide receiver position that we have acquired. So I understand Andrew Berry sucks at drafting wide receivers. But to me, you're trading one really good wide receiver for another really good wide receiver because he's a couple years younger, and you're also having to give up a draft pick and also a long commitment money-wise to this one guy. So to me, and then you throw on the fact that now it's coming out that maybe he prefers to play for the Steelers and he doesn't want to play for the Browns. Okay, at this point, I want you to go to Pittsburgh. I want to hurt you when we play you twice a year. So good riddance. I'm over Brandon Ayuk. I'm over the drama. I think Amari Cooper is a great receiver for 1 year, and then we'll kind of figure it out after that. But I'm done. I'm done with Ayuk. I mean, if he comes here, I support all Browns players, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say I won't cheer him on, because I will. But right now, if he wants to play for Pittsburgh, let him go play for Pittsburgh, and I want to hurt him.
Yep. Justin said if he offered massages, I bet they'd get the rest of the farm for him, so it's time for Bri to drink. There it is. The reason why I was giggling in the background, Bri, is my wife is super excited right now because the new telephone pole that got shattered by the tree that dropped over here has finally arrived to our house, and they are starting to work on our power now. So, get a little excited out here.
Do you want to go watch it? I can handle the rest of it. I could run down my list, and you can watch it, and then we'll come back. And
I'm good now.
Sounds pretty awesome.
She was out here doing the lane dance. As you were talking about Brandon Ayuk, I'm like, how am I supposed to focus with you doing the lane dance right now?
I'm impressed. You coming up with Seinfeld references. I didn't think you were a fan.
Well, I'm not, but I know the Elaine dance. Everybody knows the Elaine dance.
I guess so.
But yeah, she's all excited right now. So I can't even laugh anymore. All right. So yeah, Brandon Ayuk, if I want him here, I think it would be okay to have him here. But like you said, you're up against the cap. You're going to have to pay him as soon as he gets here. Do you really want to pay a wide receiver $30 million, especially hearing the news that we've been hearing about Cedric Tillman at training camp right now?
I feel like we hear that. I feel like we hear that every year about guys. Last year was Elijah Moore.
I know.
I'm excited too. I'm not going to poo-poo it too much, but until I really see it on Sundays, it's hard for me to get too excited about a guy who I haven't seen do it on a consistent basis. But I'm happy. It's better than hearing bad reports. I'm not going to be Mr. Debbie Downer here. I like Ced Tillman.
So, Brian, I do have to ask you, how do you feel about all these catch videos that keep coming out of Brown's training camp? You know, we had the Jerry Jeudy catch where he dove and caught a catch from Deshaun Watson. Like, oh, my God, Jerry Judy's back. We've had the Cedric Tillman one from Jameis Winston. We've had all these, like, little Elijah Moore catches. And everybody is just going nuts like, oh, they're back. Like, guys, it's practice. Like, they're not even wearing pads. Like, I don't know.
I think it's an us problem. I think what are the Browns? The Browns are supposed to promote their team, so they put out good plays, and everyone reacts to it a certain way. You know, you just enjoy the play, and you say, okay, that's good, cool. But if you make it this big thing like, oh, he's back, oh, he looks terrible, this is awful, it's an us problem. If you want to overreact to it, then by all means go for it, but you're just going to give me a headache.
Yeah. Okay, so, all right, what else? Browns, we had something else Browns related to that we were going to talk about, and
I had nothing, but if you got something.
Oh, they were talking about Jed Wills. That was the other thing I wanted to bring up real quick. Jed Wills, like we brought it up last week. You know, if Jed Wills has a good year, are you going to pay Jed Wills? And it sounds like that if he does have a good year, they're probably going to pay Jed Wills.
That's what one person's opinion is. To me, you have three. And also, I think it depends on how easily you're able to get out of Jack Conklin's contract. If you're not able to get out of Conklin's contract, then it'd be stupid to pay Jed Wills because you would have free. Because I think DeJuan Jones, it sounds like DeJuan Jones is, he's going to find the field in one way or another. And then you got to figure out the other tackle other than that. So, yeah, if I just can't see us paying one tackle to sit the bench, paying him $15, $20 million or whatever. So, yeah, I don't. Maybe if he's playing great and Conklin looks like he's going to be back and going to be healthy, maybe you look to trade him at the deadline. But I don't know. I can't see a scenario where you end up paying him.
Yeah, I understand. I just think that, if he does actually play good, and you have a solid left tackle, they're hard to find, Brian. They really are. But
they
also
are. Right.
But we did find last year that we go through like 6 of them, and we did okay there at the end. So,
yeah, and I guess the scenario, I shouldn't say I don't see a scenario. The scenario for us to pay Jed Wills is you find a way to move on from Conklin. And that way you got Wills on one side, you got DeJuan Jones on the other side, and that works. But eventually the salary cap's going to become a real thing. We can't just pay everybody. The good teams have trouble staying under it, and that's why the Chiefs let Tyreek Hill go. That's why the Ravens let Patrick Queen go. I mean, the good teams eventually have to pick and choose where they spend their money. So I know Batonio's coming off the books probably after this year, after next year, whenever he chooses to retire. So that'll free up some money. But yeah, I don't know. All I do is play Madden. So that's the only comprehension I have of the salary cap. But eventually it does become a real thing.
And you even cheat that because you're like, all right, let's pay the penalties and then just keep going.
First thing you do when you start a dynasty with the Browns, you cut Deshaun Watson and then re-sign him to a much cheaper contract because right now he's like $60 million or something. So that's the first thing you got to do. And then you go to options, you clear the salary cap penalties, and so you can sign him back for much cheaper. You're welcome.
You do it different than I do. I go the old school Browns with the Sashi ears, and I just tear it down to the studs. Like anybody over 28, you're gone. We're starting fresh.
Myles Garrett, you're getting rid of Myles Garrett?
If I can get a trade package, everything else. Now, normally I don't play with the Browns though because I find like a really crappy teams. So like the 1 year, like right now I got the Panthers. I'm playing with the Panthers. And I pretty much cut everybody that was a high cap on that. And I still had Bryce Young, but he didn't want to sign with me. So I said, screw you, I'll draft another one. And I did that.
No, that's all I do is play with the Browns. I get maybe 3 dynasties in a year out of the Browns. So I just finished the 3rd one in anticipation for the new game coming out. I don't know, next couple weeks, next 3-4 weeks. So
I think it's coming out in 2
kind of
weeks,
boring.
bud.
Is it 2 weeks? Even
I think
better.
So.
Sweet.
I gotta get a PlayStation 5.
Missing out.
Do you have a PlayStation 5?
It's the same thing. I do. Yep. It's the same thing. It just is. I get so excited for the new Madden to come out, and then it's exactly like the past year.
Have you played the college football yet?
Yeah, sporadically, very, very little. As you can imagine, with a newborn, there's not a ton of time to play. But once in a while, if I'm up early morning on my days off after she's fed and sleeping, I'll turn it on.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to sweet talk my wife into that one. I don't know if that's in the budget right now, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, Brian, let's get into our NFL quarterback rankings. All right. So, how are we going to do this? We're going to do 5 at a time?
Well, I'm just looking to see if I can separate mine into tiers. I don't know what you want to do here.
Well, we can do tiers.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. If you want to start or I can start, you tell me.
So tier 1 for me right now is the elite of the elite, right? So we'll do elite, great, good, and then down below. Is that okay with you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So right now, Brian, I only have 2 quarterbacks in the elite of the elite.
Okay.
And that's Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. And I hate to say Lamar Jackson, but I'll show my work on it because with Lamar Jackson, really hasn't had any good wide receivers in how long? Hasn't had a solid running back, like a bell cow back in how long? Yet he wins the MVP. Now, granted, this year Mark Andrews was hurt most of the year. He took that team to the playoffs. He did what he could. He won the MVP. Brian, he's just a different animal. He is the, let's just put it this way. He is the Michael Vick of our era as athlete-wise. Now, Patrick Mahomes it's Patrick Mahomes, bud. He's on a whole different level. I mean, do you have them both top 2 or do you have somebody different with your top 2?
I have my top tier is one name and it's Patrick Mahomes. He's in a level all by himself. You just said it yourself. Mm-hmm. Your argument for Patrick Mahomes is it's Patrick Mahomes. No other argument needed. I mean, nobody else has 3 Super Bowls. Nobody else has multiple MVPs, and nobody else has been to 4 in his first however many 6 years or something like that. So that's a tier of 1 to me. And last year I think I had 3 up there, but nobody can compete with him.
No, God no. There's no way anybody can compete with him.
It's not like he's untouchable, because I think back to the Super Bowls that he's won. So he's 3-1 in Super Bowls. They got destroyed by the Buccaneers, and he's won 3 other games. The 3 Super Bowls he's won have all come down to the last 2 or 3 minutes. So he just finds plays,
but it's
at
him
the end
in the last 2 or 3 minutes,
right? Oh yeah, there was
San Francisco
had an opportunity. San Francisco had an opportunity. It was 4th down and 1, I think, in overtime. You stop them, you win the Super Bowl. Mahomes made a play. Nick Bosa came crashing down off the edge unblocked, and Mahomes just made a miss and made a play. And you continue on down the field, and it's just so hard to kill the snake, because he's more like a cat. He has 9 lives. He's just it's impossible. He just makes every right play when it's time to make a play. So yeah, that's why nobody else is like him. For me, he's number 1. So if you want to go to your tier 2.
All right, so tier 2, right after that, I have Josh Allen, I have Jalen Hurts, and I got 2 more. Tua, and why am I missing one? What's the one I'm missing in my head? I'm sorry, Brian. I didn't write everything completely down.
Oh, no.
Well, but I've been out without power. All right, give me a second.
You were home all day yesterday.
Dak Prescott.
Gotcha.
It's in there. Okay, so that's my next tier.
Okay.
And they're great quarterbacks, but they also need help around them.
Yeah, I got a small tier 2 also. Did somebody say? Did he say massage? Do I have to drink?
No, that's only when Justin says it.
Oh, I got a small tier. I got Burrow as my second best quarterback. I got Josh Allen as my third. I got Burrow. I got Allen, and then I got Lamar. I think Lamar has joined them. All of them can put their teams on their back and win a game. The reason I have Burrow ahead of Allen is just the turnovers. And then Lamar Jackson is a tremendous all-around quarterback. He's maybe the most talented, but I think his passing game leaves something to be desired. But when you have quickness like that, when you can pick up a 3rd and 16 with your legs, it's just you add a different dimension that anybody else has. So I have to respect it. The hardware is there. Postseason success, not as much. That's why I kind of keep him in the second tier, the bottom of the second tier. So yeah, so those are my top 4. What do you got for third tier?
All right, so I forgot to add Joe Burrow in that other tier, right?
Okay, so he's in your tier 2.
Yeah, I mean he's something else. All right, so next tier, Brian, it's going to be a for me because it's going to start out with Justin Herbert. All right, Aaron Rodgers, C.J. Stroud, Kirk, don't call me Cousins, Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Matt Stafford, and that list too. This is like my game manager. And I think it's good. I so many and so many years. Coaching not say Harbaugh can actually beat it out of him, something of that nature. But that's how my going after that. The rookies and the no names, and one of those no names is the Watson. But like those are my next tier is that workhorse that's a solid starter that can get you wins. I mean, Jared Goff is on that borderline for me in that next tier up because of what he did last year, and then plus he got paid. And Matthew Stafford's right there too on that next tier. That they're like the in between that they could bounce up to that tier 2 stage, or they stay in that tier 3 stage.
Yeah, I got both those guys in my next tier. My next tier is the fifth ranked quarterback through the 9th. So I got this guy was hard to place. My 5th best quarterback. I had Aaron Rodgers. Don't really know what he has left, but last time we saw him, he was pretty good, and I think he's won a MVP in the last few seasons. So it was hard for me to really place him. You don't know how he's going to do in a new offense in a new city. So he was 5. I don't feel great about it. Then I got Jared Goff at 6. I just think he's wildly underrated. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to an NFC Championship game. So I kind of value winning from a quarterback more than, even though he's got the stats. But the knock on him is like he only really plays great when he plays indoors and on a fast track. So that's the knock on him. But still, I mean, they should have gone to the Super Bowl. So I got to give him credit for that. And then my number 7 QB, Matt Stafford. Just maybe he is getting a little long in the tooth, but it seems like when he's healthy, he's won a Super Bowl recently. He's proven himself. So Stafford 7. I got Herbert 8. Just based more or less on the pure talent, on the arm talent that he has and his size, and just what he's done. Now it's going to be tough for him this year because I think, he lost his weapons. And I think Harbaugh's going to be wanting to run the ball a lot more than what he's used to. So I got him at 8. I got Dak at 9. I think he's also kind of underrated a little bit. He's been the punching bag of a lot of jokes, but he got MVP votes last year, and they win a lot in the regular season. So I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah. Who do you got in the last?
So I got 2 more tiers left. I'll go quickly because I might be behind you a little bit as far as a number of QBs. So my 4th tier starts off with Jalen Hurts.
Well, you got Jalen Hurts down that far?
I do. I mean, he's 10th, so he's top 10 still. But I think there's maybe a little bit of a gap between Dak and Hurts. And it still boggles my mind. And I think I've said it on here before. It boggles my mind on what happened to the Philadelphia Eagles last year. For a year and a half, they were a top 3 team in the NFL. And then the second half of last year, they turned into one of the worst teams in the NFL. And I don't know what the heck happened. I mean, they still had all their players healthy. So maybe he'll rebound. At 11, I got Brock Purdy. I think, again, I value winning. He wins. He went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl in his 2nd year. And everyone can deflect it to saying Kyle Shanahan and the players around him. Eventually, you got to give the quarterback credit. You can't say that quarterback is the most important position in sports, and then when a quarterback goes toe-to-toe with an instant Hall of Famer, you're not going to give him any credit. So, I mean, I think a lot of it still has to do with if Brock Purdy was taken number 1 or number 2 overall, we would be talking about him as a top 5 quarterback. But because he was not, people still continue to disrespect him. So Purdy's number 11. I got Tua number 12. I mean, he led the league in passing yards last year. And again, people are going to say a lot of that was Tyreek Hill. But still, somebody has to do. It's not like it's easy to do that. So I got Tua at 12. I got C.J. Stroud at 13. You're going to call me a Buckeye hater, but I mean, 12 games. People put him in the top 5. I think Chris Canty put him as top 5 quarterback. I mean, after 12 or 13 games. And I know everyone in today's day and age, everyone wants to be the first one to have a hot take. Like, oh, I said C.J. Stroud was top 5 quarterback way back in January. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. Like, I didn't even rank Caleb Williams is another hot name that everyone's putting in their top 15 or top 10 or something like that. Dude hasn't even played a game yet. I mean, I think, too, like in baseball, the Guardians play a pitcher for the first time, and he mows him down. A pitcher, because you've never seen him before. Let the league adjust to you, and then I'll make my opinion on you a little bit stronger. You know, Baker Mayfield had a great first year. RG3 had a great first year. Carson Wentz, we thought was going to be a franchise quarterback. Yeah. Like all these guys, but then eventually So I'm not saying that Stroud can't be a top 5 guy, but I'm saying right now, I think these other guys have proven more. So, and same thing goes for my number 14 is Jordan Love. Jordan Love's a hot name. Everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon saying he's done all this and that and pay him all this money. I mean, he's had like 8 great games. It's crazy to me just how quickly people want to anoint these guys. So he's 14 for me. I got Kirk Cousins 15, and then I got Deshaun 16. My feelings are strong on him. I still think he has potential, but he's got to prove it. So I have him smack dab in the middle of the league, average quarterback right now. So certainly he still has an upside. And then I got Trevor Lawrence as my number 17 quarterback, a guy that we were all very high on after a couple years. And then he just, the league adjusted to him. And so he hasn't looked great recently.
Yes.
So that's the end of my 4th tier.
All right. So what are we going? So the last tier, right, for all of us, I mean, are the guys that are either rookies or guys that need to prove it, right? So you got Baker in there. You got Anthony Richardson, who is a question mark, who, Brian, I'm very high on him. I think he is going to do great things in Indianapolis. It's just a gut feeling with that kid because he got hurt. He was doing all right. But he's got like the body type is just, taking over. Trevor Lawrence, I got down there too, even though they paid him. I still haven't. Trevor Lawrence was the second coming of Christ coming out of college and high school, and then he shows up in the NFL, and it's like, you were supposed to be Andrew Luck. You were supposed to be the surefire, just number one dude. You're supposed to be that Patrick Mahomes coming out, and he hasn't even come close to living up to what I think he should. He has flashes of it where he plays great. But Deshaun Watson's down there in that group with me too, Brian. It's you got to prove it. Baker's down there. You got to prove it. These are a lot of, you got to prove it guys down there in the bottom. And with me, I hate saying that for Deshaun Watson because we got high hopes for this season. But Brian, I understand we talked about his win record, right? And you're all about wins. He's 5-1, 5-1. I just need to see a complete game from him, Bri. That's all. I just want to see one complete game from him, not a half of Baltimore. Not he looked good in the first quarter of this. Can we finally just once see the quarterback that we paid that much money for have one full game to where we can actually truly judge him? Because all these guys that are down at the bottom tier, Bri, you can't judge them because they're so inconsistent.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. And a lot of them, I didn't even rake any rookies just because I don't know
is that why you only said 20? And you know something? You gave me crap for doing the quarterback tiers. I didn't even get the list till today.
Well, I told you yesterday. Well, you had time. It's something that should be running through your head all the time. What else are you thinking about at work? You football, and football.
Let's see here. Jose Cato. Kids.
That's the difference between you and me. That ain't your problem.
A wet fart.
I got a lot of the same names you do. I got Kyler Murray as 18. I put Baker at 19. Maybe you could make an argument he should be up a little higher, but he plays in such a weak division. It's hard for me to.
What Kyler's going to do this year?
I don't know. I mean, to me, he's like Kyler, Justin Fields, Anthony Richardson, these ultra athletic quarterbacks, and show flashes, and people get so excited about these one or two flash plays that they have a game. But really, as a quarterback, if you can negate his scrambling, you force him to throw, you turn him into a pumpkin. So, but yeah, he's like Deshaun. He's got 1, maybe 2 years left. He's got to prove himself. So it's going to be a big year for him. I got Kyler Baker. I got Derek Carr is 20. He's kind of the forgotten one. I had him higher last year, and I still think he's decent, but he's definitely on the back nine of his career. And then I got Daniel Jones is 21, and Daniel Jones has been the punching bag for the NFL. It's funny how like I compare Daniel Jones to Nickelback. Like, remember everyone was down on Nickelback. It's cool to make fun of Nickelback, and like they're just the punching bag for every single joke. That's how Daniel Jones is. But you think about it, last time he was healthy, he won a playoff game. So how bad can he really be? Like last year, he played like 5 or 6 games, and then he got hurt, and he was done for the year. But I think it'd be more or less because of his personality and his character and everything like that. He's just an easy target, especially being in New York. But he's really not a terrible quarterback. So Daniel Jones, 21. I got Geno Smith, 22. I got Anthony Richardson, 23. I think he could skyrocket if he has stays healthy and really develops into a passer. I got Russ Wilson, 24.
Russ Wilson,
could he be good? Could he be good? He could be good. He wasn't terrible last year.
No, it's just I think he's, and I've said it before, Bri, Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches, I believe, in the NFL. And no matter what people say about Pittsburgh, and I know we hate Pittsburgh, but man, he just, for some odd reason, he gets a team that, like, Kenny Pickett. My God, they got Kenny Pickett, and he gets them into the playoffs. Like, how? How does that happen? But he does it all the time. Like, he wins all the time, right? Like, it's been 20 years he's been there, and he's won every freaking year. Like, they haven't had that downfall that we want, which hopefully might be this year, but I don't even know if it's going to be this year.
Yeah, if they get Ayuk, they added Patrick Queen, they got Russ Wilson. I mean, or Fields even. As long as your quarterback doesn't lose you games, I think they're going to have a chance. Let's not forget how damn lucky Pittsburgh is. How many games did they beat? I think they beat Baltimore twice last year with Kenny Pickett, which is just absolutely absurd. They won one game like 10-6 or something ridiculous to where, and they're getting like turnovers when they absolutely have to have it. Like, they are the luckiest team in the NFL. So, yeah, if Russ Wilson capitalizes on that luck, it wouldn't surprise me too much. But then my last one, 25, I had to put my boy Jacoby Brissett on there. Give him some love.
Even though he's not going to start.
Probably not. Nope. But I didn't put any rookies on there because who the hell knows what they're going to do.
All right. So give me one. All right. Besides J.J. McCarthy, give me one rookie that you are high on this year that you can see having a good year this year.
I think Caleb Williams has everything in front of him. He's set up for success. He has the weapons, better than probably 80% of the league. His weapons are the way they went out and got a Dunze and Keenan Allen and Swift as running back. So he's set up for success. So I think he's the easy pick.
Give me an outlier.
Other than that,
we got Drake May, you got J.J. McCarthy. You can even
I would probably say, I would say Drake May or J.J. McCarthy. The reason I would say him is just Justin Jefferson. I mean, he's gonna make J.J. McCarthy look really good. And so, but other than that, like Drake May, I think is a better quarterback than J.J. McCarthy. But the Patriots have not given their quarterbacks any weapons at all. Like, even go back to Mac Jones. Like, everyone makes excuses for Justin Fields constantly when he was in Chicago. Look what Mac Jones had with New England. Mac Jones had can anybody even name one of his wide receivers? I mean, we eventually grew to knew his running back because they just handed him the ball all the time in fantasy football. That's why you know his name. But the Patriots have failed miserably in trying to. Now they're trying to get Ayuk from the Niners, but other than that, they're terrible, awful weapons.
God, he had an old veteran wide receiver, and I can't think of his name right now, right?
N'Keal Harry they had this Kendrick Bourne. I mean, they have just a bunch of number 3 receivers.
Yeah. All right, Bri. Well, those are our quarterback tiers for tonight because we got to get moving because you put me on the time clock and we're over the time clock now.
Oh, boy.
Oh, it's not good. No bueno. No bueno. So let's get into our Fat Boy Thursday. All right, let's have some fun with it. And we'll go quick with Fat Boy Thursday in our top three, okay?
Yep.
And now it's time for Fat Boy Thursday.
All right, so Fat Boy Thursday. Now, Brian, you came up with best fast food breakfast items, not just sandwiches, just items in general. Okay. Do you want to go first with what you have, and then I'll piggyback off of you, or
Sure. No, I'll go and I'll try to make it quick. Yeah, you know I'm a big fan. I think Wendy's is probably the best fast food place going. But I think their breakfast, they've tried their breakfast and it's not bad. I think their chicken, they got a chicken sandwich. I can't remember what it is, but that's like
maple?
maybe their best chicken sandwich. And their seasoned potatoes are pretty good too. But the rest of that just kind of falls short. So I feel like McDonald's is still far and way superior, best breakfast place with the sausage McMuffin. You got the McGriddle. You got the hash brown, which is like unbelievable. I don't even know how much potato was in it. It's just all crunch. But even Burger King, I think, has a better breakfast than McDonald's or Wendy's, and it's hard for me to say that because I'm not a huge Burger King fan. I mean, their little hash browns, their croissant, those aren't bad. So, yeah, I don't know. And Sonic, I'm a big Sonic fan, but I don't think those are around much anymore. I used to go there quite a bit when it was on my way home from work. The breakfast burrito, Sonic definitely has the best. I had Wendy's breakfast burrito like 2 months ago, and it was just not great.
That's what my wife said too.
Yeah, I mean they're trying. I think I said when maybe like early shows when we started this, when Wendy's first came out with breakfast stuff. I'm not a huge fan of their egg. They try to make it like, oh hey, we got real egg, but I'm not a huge egg white fan. So
I
much rather prefer the cheap stuff.
So like so for me, like I love their breakfast baconator or breakfastinator or whatever it is. I think it's delicious. That's me. Their JoJo's are legit. They truly are.
Yeah, they are good.
I love those things. The everything else, like you get the maple. It's the maple croissant, maple chicken croissant, maple butter.
Yeah,
that you're talking about. It's good. Now,
yeah.
If you can't go wrong with McDonald's because you got, like you said, sausage McMuffin, egg McMuffin, all that stuff. My go-to there, you got to get the steak, egg, and cheese bagel. Their bagel sandwiches are fantastic.
Never had it.
Oh,
not a steak fan. You know me, not a steak fan. I'll get the bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. That's good.
Yeah. There's no way Brig Bryce downplaying the breakfast baconator. I know. He's.
I've never had. I tell you, I've never had the breakfast baconator, so I can't speak to that.
The one thing I do like though is like all the hash browns everywhere are really good. Like all the potatoes with the JoJo's, the little discs that you get at Burger King are really good. I think the best deal that you can get is Burger King with their croissant witches. They came out with a burrito too, the enormous burrito or whatever. It's good. Chick-fil-A has got a good breakfast, a little underrated.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about Chick-fil-A.
And Bri, there's one that we're not mentioning right now. Taco Bell with their little Crunch Wrap.
I was just about to say that.
That little Crunch Wrap breakfast burrito they got, a little Crunch Wrap Supreme. Well, it's not even Crunch Wrap. The breakfast Crunch Wrap Supreme in there.
Yep.
Dude, I'm telling, and they got the same hash browns as McDonald's. Now, little flavor.
Oh, do they?
Different. Yeah. So their hash browns are the same shape. Everything else is McDonald's. So we're trying to talk about breakfast. I'm trying to think of another one that is really good, Bri.
Hardee's is pretty good. I don't know if you get them up there
Hardee's
much.
is the shit no matter what happens, Bri. The gold star is the gold star. It is Hardee's.
Yeah, they're not up in Northeast Ohio very much, but you start going south, even a little south of Medina. I think there's two, one in Lodi and Seville.
There is definitely one in Lodi right there on 83. And I
Yep.
hit up that gold star every time I go by it because I don't get it that often.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my favorite sandwiches, we'll just go with my favorite sandwiches right now. The steak, egg, and cheese bagel. Then you got the breakfast nader at Wendy's. And then you go and get the double sausage croissant from Burger King. Those are my top three, but you can't go wrong with any of the breakfast potatoes at any of the places. Even Chick-fil-A has got the little discs too that are fantastic.
I was just about to mention that because I did have Chick-fil-A not too long ago, and I had their chicken biscuit. Their biscuit was really good, really good. So
And
the sandwich was phenomenal. But I got 8. I paid like $2 for 8 little potato discs. It was terrible. I mean, the box was about the size of a cigarette carton or a pack, and yeah, I opened it up like, what the hell did I just pay for?
Well, see, and like that's what I like about the Wendy's breakfast, because if you go use the Wendy's app, you can buy one of their meals, but also they got that 2 for $3 where you can get like their little sausage McMuffin they have, and 2 for $3. You can't beat that deal right now because they don't even have that at McDonald's anymore. I remember when sausage McMuffins were what, $1 a piece, and now we can't even get.
I thought
those.
they still were. No,
no. Everything went up, brother.
Yeah, they have some deal like buy something, get something for $1, don't they? Maybe.
Oh yeah, it's like any breakfast sandwich. You buy one, you get another one for $1. But
right.
They're not telling you that you're buying that breakfast sandwich at $5, so you're getting $6 for 2 breakfast sandwiches.
Their hash browns, they're top notch. They're a little too greasy, and they're a little too small. Like, I mean, you eat one and you're like, it's like 5 bites. So
I'm not gonna lie, that's why I get 4. I do. I get 4 hash browns every time I go there.
Absolutely. I don't blame you. I'm telling you. I mean, they're just too small.
Now, how do you dress up your hash browns at McDonald's?
No, usually I'm driving whenever I get a McDonald's breakfast.
Because I'll bring it home, do a little salt, pepper, the ketchup, smear the ketchup with the finger over the whole hash brown, and then that's my hash brown. And I
remember Colby. Colby used to put a hash brown on his sandwich. It was a pretty good idea. It's not bad.
They're coming out with that now too. I mean,
are they?
Well, that's what the Taco Bell Crunch Wrap is.
Oh yeah, right. Taco Bell underrated for sure. I forget about them.
Yeah, don't sleep. I know you're not a steak fan, but their steak burrito, breakfast burrito, it's pretty damn good, boy.
Taco Bell?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay. Steak breakfast burrito. Gotcha.
Oh yeah, it's really good. All right.
Okay.
So we got to get into our top 3 so I can get you out of here. All right, so let's go to this. I got to figure out where I'm at now. There, bam. So we're doing top 3 Goosebump moments in sports, Spry. Whether or not to do like, when they sing the national anthem. We're not doing a general. We're doing our actual individual specific top 3 Goosebump moments in sports. So, Bry, 5 bites, 3 max. Here we go. Oh, man. He's talking about Chick-fil-A. 5 bites.
He's probably right.
Yeah. All right, so you want to go first with your top 3, and I'll piggyback off of you?
Sure. I got my number 3 is when George Bush threw out the first pitch at the Yankees game after 9/11. I mean, you get all the feels. Like at that point, you're not more proud to be an American if you're a sports fan than at that moment, regardless Democrat or Republican. It was just kind of so cool and something that I'll remember forever. And speaking of stuff I'll remember forever, my number 2, it was hard for me to pin it down to one moment. But I guess the Kyrie shot, him hitting that. I mean, ultimately, it was when we rushed the court and we celebrated a championship. That was all. But what led us to that was, such a stressful game. Kyrie hitting that shot under a minute, we take a 3-point lead, and it's like, oh my gosh, we can actually do this. So that was my number 2 as a Cleveland fan. My number 1, just the coolest moment I think I've ever experienced in sports was the night that the United States killed Osama bin Laden. And I was watching Sunday Night Baseball, and it just started to, like, there was a fever pitch in the crowd, and people were like, this is when they had smartphones. So people are finding out on their smartphones, and they're passing it around the crowd. And before you know it, everyone kind of knows what's going on, and they start chanting USA. And like, I feel like I'm going to get like choked up talking about it now, because YouTube it. There's like a very cool ESPN piece that kind of runs through the players on the field didn't know what's going on. They could sense something was going on. And then they start chanting USA, and people are like, what the heck? We don't know. And then eventually the announcers announce, like, hey, what happened? They start zooming in on people's phones. People are hugging each other. It was just, yeah, it was awesome. Like, whenever I need a pick-me-up or something, I'll go and watch that video, and it's just very, very cool.
You and I are close on the couple. So
okay.
number 3 for me, the Rajay Davis home run.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that happened, it was just I was on cloud 9. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Rajay Davis home run in 2016 World Series. Number 2, you went with the shot. I'm going with the block, Bri. When LeBron came back and blocked that shot, I knew right then that we were not going to lose that game. There was just no ifs, ands, or buts. LeBron was not going to lose that game. That block was just I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it. Like, yeah. I'm being dead serious. That is one of the most goosebump moments for me. And then, Brian, this is going to be the Ohio State homer in me. Another goosebump moment is when the flag came out. Chris Campbell. I thought our season was over. I thought we lost. And when I seen everybody rushing the field, it was like, okay. And next thing you know, they're calling everybody off. And I'm like, what's going on? And then they zoom over, and it was the one yellow flag sitting right in the end zone. And I'm like, we got a chance. We got a chance. We got a chance. We got a chance. And that was one of my – because, Brian, for me, I've never seen – you had 97. You had, basketball championships. You've had all that. For me, and as an Ohio State fan, that was my first glimpse at just something real. Like, everybody tells me Ohio State's this good, we've won championships, we're this good, and I'm watching it, and I'm watching them play that game. But that was my goosebump moment, was seeing that flag hit the field, because I thought that game was over. And as soon as we saw that flag, I started getting goosebumps, because I knew that they had a chance.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. I mean, anytime as a fan you can win a championship, or you get like a second chance, so when you think your season's over, and then, oh, wait a minute, we still got a chance. Like, it'll take your breath away. It's just the amount of emotion that we pour into these sports, and to reach the ultimate goal. That's why I'm not gonna, all the Jim Harbaugh stuff going on, the Michigan stuff going on the last couple of weeks, I'm not gonna apologize for winning a national title. I'm gonna enjoy that the rest of my life. You can find them, like I said, find them as much money as you want. Take this away, take that away. It ain't gonna bother me.
Man, that just
you gotta appreciate. Like, we're just so invested. You gotta appreciate the good times when they come. You can't be nitpicking like, well, we won it, but Draymond Green got suspended for Game 5, so it kind of took something away from you. No, screw that, dude.
Well, you shouldn't kick people in the nuts. That's what it is. Don't kick people in the nuts. You won't get suspended.
We root for teams, and the best team wins every time.
I know. All right, Brian, let's finish off our show with the trivia brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. We have Jory. Let me bring up a couple of pictures of Jory here with Beth from City Dogs right there. Cannot go wrong with that. If you see Beth, right there is Beth from City Dogs. She does everything for City Dogs Cleveland. Give her a high five and tell her that the Ham Boys sent you. All right. Help them out. Donate, adopt, volunteer, anything you guys can do to help out City Dogs Cleveland. But please go adopt Jory, 5-year-old, 34-pound little Boston Terrier. All right, Brian. So 3 quarterbacks that have the highest quarterback rating that are still playing right now, right?
For their career. So
For
total
their
career stats. Yep.
All right. So first off, I got to go with Aaron Rodgers.
He is number 1.
Number 1.
Highest passer rating.
Number 2, Jared Allen.
Jared Allen. Josh Allen?
Josh Allen. I'm sorry, Josh Allen.
No, not Josh Allen. He's not. I got top 6 here. He's not on the top 6.
Dak Prescott.
He is number 5.
I'm getting closer.
You're getting closer.
All right. Well, Patty Mahomes.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're missing the free space here, bud. Don't overthink it. All right, now number 3 is the curveball.
And they've had to be Kirk Cousins.
No, I think he might have been top 10, though.
Damn.
So it's not a terrible guess.
I'll get one more guess. Okay. One more guess. Derek Carr.
Not a bad guess. No, not Derek Carr.
Okay.
Joe Burrow was 6. Dak, I said, was 5.
Mm-hmm.
Russ Wilson, 4 with a 100.
Okay.
And the guy just above Russ Wilson in the 3 spot with a quarterback rating of 100.8. Your quarterback, Deshaun Watson.
Who hasn't played in 3 years. Okay. All right. No, I'm just.
So you're trying to discount? Yeah.
No,
Deshaun
that's fine.
Watson too.
That's fine. It's fine. Hey, I'm glad.
What do you mean that's fine?
That's fine. He's got a
The
quarterback rating.
stats don't lie.
Okay, you're starting to. My kids are sitting out. You're starting shit right now. It's all right.
The stats don't lie. What do you want me? I didn't make these stats. It's not like I just came up with these stats to here you go.
Coming up with like
quarterback rating is
one right there.
Quarterback rating is the standard. I understand he hasn't done it in Cleveland, but he's been one of the best quarterbacks in his career.
Everybody's
Stats
coming
back
in.
it up.
Mom's coming in. Everybody's coming in. Oh, coming
Sorry.
from the other side.
I think everybody is sleeping here.
No, they can't. They can't hear you through this. So.
Oh, okay.
Bryce says hi and he loves you guys.
Love you too. Yeah, love you too.
All right, Brian. Let's close out the show.
Yeah.
All right. We want to thank our troops and first responders for everything you guys do. Thank you for the power companies working overnights, everything like that. Take care of the show. We want to thank City Dogs Cleveland, Harold Kuehl, and Lake Erie, PA. Also, Network 216 for allowing us to broadcast on their stuff. And we just, Bri, God bless them. I did.
God bless America.
All right. And like I always say at the end of the show, we are definitely uncorked, unloaded, and we are out. See you guys next week.